LAPD pursues 3 suspects in San Fernando Valley carjacking and assault. On Friday morning, January 3, 2025, there was a high-speed chase through the San Fernando Valley. During the chase, the suspect reached speeds of 130 miles per hour. It all started in the 15800 block of Pacific Coast Highway in Pacific Palisades. A woman told officers she was assaulted, robbed, and carjacked by a large group of people. Some of the suspects left the scene in a Nissan while others left in the stolen vehicle. Records indicate that the Nissan was a rental vehicle and was never returned to the rental company. When officers spotted the vehicle, a chase began on Highway 405 at Sunset Boulevard around 8:45 a.m. Later that morning, the driver of the Nissan was traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour on highways 101 and 170. The suspect led authorities on a chase through the San Fernando Valley through neighborhoods including Sherman Oaks, Studio City, North Hollywood, Valley Glen, and Sun Valley. Officials initially believed there were 2 people in the vehicle. By 9 a.m., the suspect was reaching speeds of about 130 mph on Highway 170. The suspect then returned to southbound Highway 101 where he was seen weaving in and out of traffic.
Actually following a pursuit. That vehicle now right behind that tree. We'll show it to you in just a moment. Skyfox, come. Oh, okay. Oh, there's 2 people in there. A woman and a guy. Sorry, I got the scanner way up loud. Copy all. Thank you for that. Copy. Thank you. I'm standing by. Ten seconds, copy all. There is going to be a toss, right? Why? Yeah, you know what? Carjacking suspect, very dangerous situation, and that driver, very erratic. We know for a fact 2 people in the vehicle. There might be more in the back seat, but we definitely saw a woman in the passenger seat and a driver clearly driving the vehicle as a male. You can see them right now. Now, one of the reasons why I say this is even more dangerous to the public. Right now, LAPD, they are in a tracking mode type of situation. They don't have anybody on the ground with lights and sirens kind of warning everybody what's going on. That driver, very erratic. Look, wrong side of the road, running a red light. And that is just what we saw just now. Earlier on the freeway, tailgating, getting very, very close to other vehicles. And that driver seems to be very distracted, more distracted of what the helicopter flying over them, and that's going to be the LAPD helicopter, than actually paying attention to what's going on the road. That Nissan, well, you know, the reports are, and again, we have to get this stuff confirmed, but right now, look at that. Look at getting really, really close. Another solid red right there, and this is the dangerous part of this whole situation. Now, there are no vehicles behind him. There is no police cars and lights and sirens to warn the public. And also, there's no lights and sirens behind him to agitate that driver. So right now, we're making our way through the Valley Village area, high speeds. You can see him right there, 70 miles an hour on the streets, on the surface streets. And it looks like he's, well, nope, he didn't. I thought he was going to play that game where they park underneath the overpass. Right now, it looks like we're getting back onto a freeway. That is a little bit of a relief, but a very dangerous situation as we're following this vehicle, and the LAPD is following it as well. They're making the calls to the officers on the ground. If this does come to a stop somewhere, officers, I can tell you, will miraculously appear out of nowhere because they are tracking, but they're not right behind that vehicle, and those lights and sirens not right there to agitate that driver. Definitely. And, this is the thing. We watch these pursuits. I'm blessed to be able to call some of these pursuits, and I'm never judging any of the decisions anybody is making. Those officers, they are in a higher, they get paid to make those tough calls. Because there is nobody behind them, but now there's no lights and sirens. There's no way that anybody in the public has any idea that this person is driving recklessly near them, around them, or could possibly be running through an intersection. When we're on the freeways, it's a little bit different. It's kind of wide open, and higher speeds, well, everybody kind of speeds a little bit, but this guy's going 100 miles an hour right now on the northbound 170 freeway. And what's he running from? That's kind of the big thing. He's not really running from any officers on the ground. I'm pretty sure he's aware that the LAPD helicopter is above him, that helicopter very low, and basically kind of just telling him, hey, we got eyes on you. But are they going to let this guy go? That's the other side of it. What we're hearing was this is an armed carjacking suspect. So this person basically took that vehicle from somebody with force, with some sort of weapon. So that is a very dangerous person behind the wheel. Right now, though, we're blessed with light traffic today. It is definitely Friday light, and also the end of a holiday, but right now pushing 100 miles an hour northbound on the 170, using all lanes of the freeway, and it looks like we might be getting back off the freeway. And this is what it is. It's so dangerous about all of this is he's getting so close to other vehicles. Nobody knows that this car is coming up behind them at that high rate of speed, and then of course those blind turns and running red lights. It just compounds the whole dangerous situation. Hang on. Yeah. Roscoe. U-turn. Well, you know what? I'm with everybody else, and when you see something flapping out of the windows, and after those terrible things that were happening in New Orleans, you worry that possibly that is some sort of banner. It is not. It is not. I would venture to say that is some sort of window covering or something like one of those screens that they put over the windows, maybe for a child, but the window is down and it is just kind of blowing around in the wind or through that vehicle. That driver still driving very aggressively. You can see some movement in the passenger seat. That's what we saw earlier on. We had a pretty clean shot of it. A female passenger, the male driver, and there might be somebody in that back seat. You got a lot of tint down there. You've got a lot of, in that thing kind of blocking the window. So we don't know, but I would venture to say it's probably, hopefully, just the two of them. But right now, making our way back onto that 170 freeway, high speeds out here, Sun Valley, and these are the calls that officers have to make. How do we protect the public? How do we keep our officers safe? It is a difficult call for sure. Right now, the helicopter, the LAPD helicopter is following it, but you can see that car making those hard turns, weaving in and out of traffic, and again, topping out, you're getting into the triple digits out here. That's 100 miles an hour plus, and that vehicle, it's a newer car, but again, I don't think it was designed for handling at 100 miles an hour, especially when they're making those hard turns and last-second decision-making, and with all that other traffic nearby, you just don't want to see anybody hurt, even the people inside that vehicle. Yep. Yep. You know what? I saw it the moment we saw the vehicle. It was one of the things that I picked up right away. You could see that kind of flapping in the wind right there. I think that's actually attached. Like they put it down and then they closed the door on it. I was afraid that it was some sort of banner or something. Thank goodness it is not. But also, look at this: 110 miles an hour, and we're doing those crazy weaving in and out of traffic. Going to get you a little bit of a wider shot because I just got to be careful what might happen down there if they are involved in some sort of high-speed crash. Passing these other vehicles, you can really get a feel with this wider shot how fast that car is going. Of course, we have the numbers up there on the screen for y'all, but it gives you a better feel when you're seeing this guy basically passing vehicles at freeway speeds. That is, it is pretty dangerous indeed. Right now, though, we're made our way southbound. This car has been making a lot of U-turns. That's the only consistent thing that I can say, just as an observer of what's been going on. Many U-turns. We were north on the 170. Now we're south on the 170. We were he was making U-turns even on surface streets when we were trying to catch up to him. He was on Moore Park for a little bit in the Valley Village area. Right now, though, it does definitely seem like we're staying on that 170 because he's far over. So it's going to pick up onto the 101, and we might be heading through the Cahuenga Pass. But we've seen that car make these radical changes very quickly, so who really knows? Now we're getting into a little bit more traffic, and this always kind of worries me, especially when you start weaving in and out of these cars, and he has to start hitting the brakes because it does get kind of packed up. Look at this guy right here is probably like, hey, what are you doing, buddy? And that's also something we don't want to see. Law enforcement doesn't want to see that either, getting far over to the right and now coming all the way back. Oh my goodness, this is just gets more and more scary. Yeah. It, all those kind of questions we might get answers to later on, but right now what I can tell you is the assignment desk gave us a call, said, hey, they're following a carjacking suspect, and they were on the 405 northbound near Sunset, so that was in the Brentwood area. Skyfox, sad to say, but happy to say, is not just like a pickup truck. We can't just jump in and start it up and run, so it took us a few minutes to get up into the air. By the time we did, he was actually already on the 101 freeway, and he got off, but the point of the matter is we don't really know. The pursuit started on the 405 freeway, but they were over by Mulholland by the time the actual pursuit started because they were waiting to get other cars behind them. They can't just have one car there to light it, like basically what they say, light them up, turn on the lights and sirens. And if it's a pursuit, this guy is all by, or guy or gal, law enforcement is all by themselves. They always wait to get kind of back up. There's a whole process that goes on. They've got the helicopter over it. So they had to get their ducks in a row. We were trying to get our helicopter in the air, but by the time we got there, he was already on the 101. So I don't really know if that was damage that was done to the car before, if this was, whatever that is blowing in that rear window was there when they stole the vehicle or took the vehicle by force. But again, we also know it has Florida plates on it. So there's a lot of questions here, and again, LAPD not letting this go. So they believe that driver is a dangerous suspect. Look at these high speeds. And I'm not sure if we're on Cahuenga or, yeah, we're on Cahuenga right now, right? And look at that, just making that turn. He did slow it down in time, but we're making our way into the Hollywood area right now. Might get a little bit dicey because we have some buildings to deal with, depends where he goes. But again, these high speeds, running those red lights, getting so close to all these other vehicles that just have no idea what's going on. Very dangerous. Look at that, red light, kind of forced to make a turn there. Thank goodness he didn't get any closer to any of those cars.
Shortly before 9:10 a.m., the chase continued into Hollywood, where the suspect met morning rush hour traffic at the intersection of North Cahuenga Street and Franklin Avenue. A short time later, the suspect returned to Highway 101 in the Hollywood Hills and led authorities into the valley.
Northbound Cahuenga. Yeah. Putting his hoodie on. Yeah. Oof. Very careless indeed. And, you know, that's one of the things. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. That is so much traffic down there. And we just basically made another U-turn. We weren't on the freeway, or well, you haven't made a U-turn on the freeway, but our direction has totally changed. We were southbound, and now we're back northbound again, making our way back through the Cahuenga Pass, this time on the roads instead of the freeways. But, yes, definitely. When they get on the freeways, it doesn't mean that it's not dangerous. And it just means that there's, you know, less of a chance that there is a pedestrian or any other type of anything else, a bicyclist, anything that could get in the way. But there's still other cars out here, and he does get very, very close. And we have seen high-speed chases where they are by themselves. They make that hard turn. The car starts losing traction, and then, you know, poor driving, and then there's an accident and people are injured. So we're always cognizant of that. And of course, law enforcement, this is the stuff that they deal with. These are the things that they have to basically weigh out. It's like, how dangerous is this if we just let this go? If we have the helicopter following it. You know, they are making calls. They are saying that, you know, this is where he is to the officers on the ground. And that's why I always say, when this comes to an end, it will miraculously, officers will just kind of appear out of nowhere because they are listening. And believe me, law enforcement, they want to do their job, and their job is to keep the public safe and to take bad guys into custody. And this person right here, right now, he's acting very badly. So this is what it's all about. But the concern while this is happening is definitely safety. Hoodie. Yeah. Definitely watching this car just kind of changing lanes out there. I was actually seriously just checking my phone, seeing if I can get any information, any kind of little tidbits that we might not have. Turns out just a lot of people saying, why didn't I tell them that there was a pursuit going on? I'm kind of busy. Anyways, we are watching this car, and again, LAPD in the air, and they are chasing them. And on the ground right now, they've opted out probably because of the high speeds and the dangerous maneuvers. They're going to keep their officers a little bit safer, but, you know, again, it's one of those handoffs because law enforcement, their lights and sirens are very helpful. I think there's are we off the one side? I thought we were actually right next to the North Hollywood LAPD. I thought that would have been a little ironic. Made that hard turn right there. I did see that's the first time I saw that rear wheel kind of slide out a little bit. So that was the first time I actually saw that car lose a little control. Now we're making our way clearly on Magnolia. This is going to get into a very busy area out here in the North Hollywood area. Lankershim is going to be up there, Riverside, all the big streets. And again, a lot of traffic out here, even though it's Friday. A lot of people got to get to where they need to be. And they don't know that this guy is just out here running lights and making these dangerous decisions. What did he pick? He did pick Lankershim. So now we're on Lankershim. You know, you asked that question about what these people are thinking. You know, I would venture to say that they really don't have a plan. I would venture to say right now the only thing he's thinking is got to get away. but he doesn't even really know what he's getting away from because there is nobody right behind him. The helicopter is definitely above him, and they're making those calls. They're telling law enforcement on the ground where he is and what direction he's going, and especially in North Hollywood, they were eager. I wouldn't say eager, but they were advised that this was getting into their territory here earlier on, so they know that this is going on, and probably all the other divisions nearby know as well. Right now, though, the helicopter, LAPD, keeping an eye on it. We're going to be getting into the Burbank airspace. I feel Jeff bringing up the helicopter, so I have a feeling that we're going to be staying up a little higher because possibly they have some flights coming in. Hopefully we're going to be able to keep an eye on it, but you never know. It's always a fluid situation up here in Skyfox. Keeping an eye on it. We're going to be getting into the Burbank airspace. I feel Jeff bringing up the helicopter, so I have a feeling that we're going to be staying up a little higher because possibly they have some flights coming in. Hopefully we're going to be able to keep an eye on it, but you never know. It's always a fluid situation up here in Skyfox.
87 miles per hour on a surface street on Lancashire right there in North Hollywood, and we're looking at this driver going on the freeway, off the freeway, back on the freeway, so really unclear where they're going to go. Obviously, we don't know. And for one moment, I think from your vantage point, Stu, we did see the sign of a passenger in the car. As we've mentioned, there could be possibly a woman, a female passenger in the passenger side seat. And so we don't know the state. But clearly the car looks like it's a little damaged, right, from the side and the back. And then you said that the rear wheel seems a little wobbly at this point.
Yeah, you definitely some damage on that vehicle, and you know, clear. Well, oh gosh, that is. Anyways, there's definitely damage on the vehicle. That is not a clean Nissan. I can tell you that. It has seen it and been there and made its way back. And now it's oh, look at, did you? Oh my goodness. And you know, and that's the thing too. This is a little bit off at a distance, but believe me, that was a pretty close call. I venture to say that driver in that white vehicle, believe me, they flinched, and I don't blame them. And this is what the problem is. This is what all the issues are with the pursuits. It is so dangerous for the folks on the ground, and of course law enforcement, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again, they actually are concerned about the driver and in this case the passenger's safety as well. And that's the reason why we have all these you know, policies in place where they say, all right, we're not going to chase them, or okay, we are going to chase them, or we're just going to use the helicopter. And in some cases they just let them go. And I say it with a little disdain, but also in that same breath, it is the safer thing to do a lot of times, and that is what it's all about. Is, you know, how I have a feeling this is going to come to an end somewhere in here. It looks like we're doing something. What? Oh, maybe just he wanted to put some more dents in the car. That's what it was. You just wanted to put a couple more dents in the car there. Anyways, but making the turn. Yep, she seems to be in some kind of Snuggie. They definitely dressed for the weather. I don't know if the Star, they were probably listening to Star a little bit earlier this morning, but both of them, you know, wearing layered stuff. And again, even that he could have got, you know, could have bumped that the back of that car, making another sharp turn right there.
Backed into that dumpster right there to make that turn. And then
it's just crazy how.
Look at where he's going into. What is this? A parking lot. Parking lot.
No, this is, it's a parking lot for an apartment building. I have a feeling they're going to park that vehicle if they haven't already and jump out. We're going to move Skyfox as quick as we can around over there. Jeff making those moves, but I have a feeling that they're probably out running. I'm going to keep it a little bit wider just in case. But I would venture to say they might actually have known. Up there they are. There they are. There they are. That's what I thought they were going to do. She is definitely checking on whatever's in that back seat. Hopefully it is not. It is other people.
Someone else in there.
Oh my goodness!
But right now they seem unfazed. They don't. There's nobody following them, so they're just casually walking out. They're kind of looking around, but there's no black and whites behind them. So there they go.
Huh?
There they go. And I'm not sure where the guy went. I'm gonna turn up my Sorry about that. Still got that same cold that everybody has. I'm turning up the scanner just a little bit to see if LAPD is making some calls right now, but I definitely can tell you we're at the corner. You see it. We're at the Runnymede in Lancashire in the apartment building. I was watching her more than I was watching the driver. LAPD more concerned about the driver, I'm sure, but right now that vehicle parked. And everybody that was in that car now out of it and walking around LAPD. There they go.
Oh,
I have a feeling. Oh, the driver's being taken into custody there off of Lancashire. We'll move once again, and then she went back for something.
Oh my
goodness! You can't. You can't forget whatever that was.
It's hard to. Interesting. I don't know what the word is to say.
There's someone running in the back. Oh, those are officers right there trying to go find her.
But just so nonchalantly, just like, oh, I forgot something. Let me go check on that.
After a high-speed chase.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And you know what? Nobody. Oh, look! Oh my goodness! I feel so bad for those officers. Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, I feel bad for them. It's one of those ones. We got one officer behind him.
Okay. Keep eyes
but
on
you know
him.
what? I was gonna say, thug life is a tough life. Whoa! Look at this! Look at this!
A good Samaritan, perhaps.
Who knows?
Something you don't want to do, get involved in a chase, but they went into...
I saw his hoodie run into the in-out service. So definitely kind of going to be blocked in there. Hopefully this doesn't turn into anything else except for them taking him into custody. But kind of ironic name of the store where you run into to bring the pursuit to an end. But my goodness.
What happened to that female passenger? Do we see her down below?
I can go back there in just a second. I just want to see and make sure that nothing interacts inside inside of here. And also kind of taking a peek. Maybe there is a back door. It is an alley, so you kind of wonder maybe that this person was able to get out the back. You can see other officers. Basically, they missed the turn. You guys missed the turn, buddy. You missed the turn. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on it. There he is. He's in custody. Okay. He's in custody. Let's see if officers are still in that apartment building. That was right over here. I did just hear, I think somebody might have been asking also if the female's in custody.
Yes.
But
on the scanners,
but they are definitely want to talk to her, and I have a feeling they know exactly where she's at.
So you did see the driver being taken into custody initially?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we have two.
Let's see.
That's the driver right there in the gray hoodie.
There he is.
There he is.
Yep. There he is.
And then there was a female passenger in the front seat, and then a passenger in the back seat that just strolled out of the car. Looked like a younger person in the back seat. I'm not saying a child by any means, but definitely seemed to be a little bit younger than the crowd. And then I also heard him saying something about the south side, so maybe they took him into custody here. But wow, you know what? We're just glad that nobody got hurt in this at all. But LAPD, it's a tough job. It is a tough job, and these guys do an amazing job keeping everybody safe and taking bad guys into custody.
Well, absolutely.
The suspect stopped at an apartment building at the intersection of Runnymede Avenue and Lancashire Street, where he and two others exited the vehicle. 3 people exited a vehicle at an apartment building in Sun Valley after leading police on a high-speed chase. The driver and a female passenger were arrested while a third male passenger fled from officers. The third male passenger was later arrested at what appeared to be a nearby tire store. The second vehicle. The suspects in the second vehicle remain at large that day.